welcome into Fantasy Filmball. My name is Dill, and you've seen the title of the video. I am currently at the London Film Festival, and before we dive into what movies I'm going to be seeing here, I feel like my story of being here is actually pretty interesting, so I'm going to dive into that really quickly, because all the way back in like June or July, I got a message from my boss, and he was like, do you want to do an event out in London? And I guess for some extra context for those who may not know, I do live productions. So think about when you're watching sports on TV, I'm either the one clicking the buttons, pointing the camera, doing the replay, doing the graphics, that sort of thing. Travel a lot for work. That's how I got to meet Matt in Toronto earlier this year. And when he said the event was in London, I'm like, I've never been. I want to go to. I'm going to jump on this opportunity before hearing any more details. And then he kind of follows up a few months later. He's like, hey, the event's not actually in London. It's in Birmingham. But he gave me the weekend, and the weekend was during the London Film Festival. So I was still down. I was on board. I took a train this morning. You can see some stuff here. I'll put some clips overlay. And let's say my train experience was a little interesting. My initial train canceled. Then I had to go talk to this guy at the train agency, and he was really nice. Asked where I was from, because obviously I don't have a British accent. Told him America. And then he talked to me about Diddy and Kanye West for about 5 to 10 minutes. Unprovoked. He just talked about it. Funny stuff. But made it here, and if you look behind me, you see it, it's Big Ben. So I'm gonna walk over there, and as I walk over there, let me tell you about both the films I'm gonna be seeing today with some Filmball legends. Alright, so the first movie I'm going to be seeing today is Steve McQueen's Blitz. I'm seeing it right here in London, and it's not the world premiere. That was last night, so this will be like the second or third screen of the movie overall. But it's one I'm very interested to see. I know that the first reactions and reviews came out the other day, but kind of go into it blind. I haven't looked at many of those. I don't know if the film's unanimously praised. It's panned. It's somewhere in between, like I expect it to be at this moment. McQueen's a director who I think I appreciate a little bit more than I love. Widows was a movie I thought was very cool. 12 Years a Slave was great, but it's not a movie I ever really want to rewatch again. And then his TV movie series was another thing, kind of like 12 Years a Slave, where I thought it was very well done. It's just like, how often do I want to watch that again? So it's one I'm not really sure how I'm going to feel. I kind of avoided it on my Filmball leagues and Oscar predictions. It's been high, it's been low, but I'm excited to see. And then the second film I will be seeing today is Netflix's juggernaut, EMILIA PEREZ. And this is one I'm very, very intrigued for. Honestly, of all the films I will see at these fall film festivals, this one's probably number one, just because of how divisive this movie seems. Like, some people seem to adore it, some people seem to hate it, and there's not really many people in between. And I mean, y'all have seen my reactions to some other musicals here on this channel. I tend to favor them because of their boldness, their audacity, their charm, the whimsical, and those are all words even people who despise EMILIA PEREZ use to describe this film. So I think I will be higher on this film than a lot of other people in our community and our server are, but I'm going in with an open mind. Maybe I'll love it, maybe I'll hate it, but the birdie out there tells me that Zoe Saldana and Selena Gomez, Jack Ardiard, they're gonna be there, so who knows? I'm excited. And while I'm still over in this area, because it's kind of quiet over here, so you can actually like hear me, and it's really calm, it's beautiful, like, look at that. Because if I lived here, because I have a lot of days where I'm not traveling, this would be a spot I would travel to all the time. So yeah, the festivals that I'll be going to here after London include Philadelphia and Virginia. So if you're interested in my coverage of films like The Brutalist, Anora, and so many other titles, definitely consider dropping a subscription down below and a like, because it helps grow the channel. I'll link up here Matt's coverage from Toronto. It was amazing. I hope to continue that awesome coverage here throughout the rest of festival season. But I'm excited for these films. Let me go charge my phone, eat some lunch, and meet up with our special guest. Well, we're here at Blitz, and guess who I'm with? Maury's back. So we just got out of Blitz. I'll get Maury's thoughts on that after we see both films. But yeah, I guess the best way to summarize Blitz is that it's a proficiently well done film, but overall it's kind of mid, it's kind of boring. It's really sad though, because you have someone like Steve McQueen who's such a great artist, but like the screenplay just brings down all of the positive technical craft work inside of the film. You can have amazing production design, immersive sound, you can have creative camera angles, but when your story just doesn't do anything, it's hard to be engaged, and there's specific twists and turns this story makes. Maury made the comparison to Oliver Twist. You meet so many characters, but nothing really seems to come together throughout the film, and you're just often left scratching your head like, this is the decisions, these are the angles, these are the story beats that we're following through. The ending to this film is baffling and not a good way. This is a specific choice they make with our lead character, and it just did not work for me whatsoever. And we are an Oscars channel at the end of the day. If you remember to our last episode where we did some technical craft predictions, Matt had said maybe this can be a Nightmare Alley type contender. I was saying before the Joker critical dumpster fire that Joker could maybe snag 2 or 3 techs, but Best Picture's probably out of the question. And now that's kind of how I feel about Blitz, where the sound work is so good. The production design, especially in one scene where they cut off all the sound and you just have to look at the city, is so well done. But this screenplay really kills its chances in Best Picture for me. Apple, I don't know how they're going to campaign this. Obviously, it's doing a lot of regional festivals. It's coming to Virginia, it's coming to Philadelphia, where I won't be seen because I saw it here, but it's trying to be seen. It's just, is that visibility going to work at the end of the day? I can see this be like a Napoleon type contender where the craft work is just too good, but the film itself is too mid, sadly. And I guess just to touch on some other things about Blitz real quick is, it's not an awful movie, it's just not a great movie either. As I said before, some of the craft work is very well done. There's a specific scene where they cut off all the sound and you just look at the city after one of these attacks, and that's when the messaging of the film hits the hardest for me. But going back to the Maury comparison from earlier of this Oliver Twist type story, and you meet so many characters, but the resolutions to those stories feel so undercooked. It's oftentimes just character pops up and they leave, and they're gonna comment on some sort of topic. It could be social commentary, it could be about the state of London, it could be about a few different things, but they don't really have much to say about the film. They just present it, and that's it. And like, obviously you can make your own honest interpretation, but sometimes you don't want that. Sometimes you want the story to at least take a stance, and at least for me, this story did not take a stance, and this script ultimately just brings down the entire film for me. And while it was a super cool experience to see Blitz in London, a film set in London, in the city, I probably should have used my 2 free slots to maybe see something different. But now it's time for Emilia Perez, and I think we're gonna try to hit the red carpet real quick.
Audia. And the very wonderful Carla. Please make them welcome. They're some of the best that I've seen this year, but the sum of the parts is incredibly moving. So I wondered if you could talk to us about the experience of working with each other as actors on set.
I loved being able to be on this set. I think it was a dream of all of ours to get to work with Jack and his beautiful team. So as an actor, this was a no-brainer, and we all were rooting for each other the whole time. And Carla being our leader just is everything in this movie. Wait, please sing.
Hey, I love
And for the rest of you, how did you feel as an ensemble? Did you become did you feel like a family of actors in the film?
We did, and the experience of working with 4 women, the sisterhood that we created, how we were championing for each other, was exactly what I would want on every experience moving forward, and it felt to me like the way that it should be. But like Selena was saying, we had a fantastic anchor in Carla, and it only inspired us to give 120% because she was giving 150%. What we were not expecting was to be recognized for all of our work as an ensemble, and that was a dream come true for all four of us.
So I just finished Emilia Perez, talked a little bit more, and met up with your boy, both channel legends here. Really nice to actually meet them in person instead of just, a Zoom chat box. But what are my thoughts on Jacques Audiard's official French selection for the Academy Awards? Well, the first thing I have to say is obviously this film is divisive, and watching it in person, it divided me into two pretty split, clear halves, because there's the side of me that loves the bold ambition and the technical prowess of the film, and it is taking so many big, massive swings from its set design, its acting, its script, its songs. Those are not songs you typically hear in a musical, but they're so witty, they're so funny, they add to the dynamic. I really love this one song. I'm gonna struggle with the song names because they're in Spanish. Obviously, I don't speak Spanish, but there's this one song that's about surgery that was pretty comedically hilarious. El Mal from Zoe Saldana is a banger, and inside the context of the film works so much better than if you just listen to it out on Spotify and Apple Music right now. But then there's the other half of me that maybe the swing was too big, maybe it was too ambitious. There's a certain, I think, two halves of this film, but there's the first half that's doing all of this in a creative, fun, new way that you haven't seen before, and I feel like the plot line there works a lot more than the plot line they go with in the second half. For me, the film kind of splits up pre and post Selena Gomez's first main song. Before her first main song, without going too much in the plot details, it's about Carlos Sofia Gascon's character and their transition to their new life and their new way of living. And then post that song is when maybe there's some stipulations in that life, some roadblocks where some things aren't going the way that they may have wanted to expect, and she does some things, and those things that she does and the way that the story goes down didn't really work for me, but that doesn't mean the whole film as a whole isn't pretty fantastic. Because what works out this movie really works for me, and Emilia Perez is a bold, massive, fantastical swing. It demands to be seen, and even if you don't end up loving it, even if you hate it, it's worth the watch because you've never seen something like this before. You've heard the reports, and I'm here to tell you that they are all true. Part musical, it's part drama, it's part soap opera, it's part whatever synonyms you want to use for this film. It's a very interesting one, and it's one of those films where even if you don't love it, there's going to be things that you do enjoy, you do respect, that you do vibe with, because it's trying a whole lot of things, and I can't emphasize enough, they don't all work for me. But the stuff that works is really good, because Zoe Saldana is a true performer. She sings, she dances, she does comedy, she does hard drama, she does everything that you want out of a performance. And sure, you can talk about, oh, she's a lead, she's not supporting. I'm here to say, well, she may have enough screen time to be a lead, the story's not about her, it's about Carlos Sofia Gascon's character, where she is phenomenal in this film, pre and post transition. You could maybe even think they're two completely different actors because of the body mannerisms, because of the vocal tones, and just the way that she carries herself differently between these two roles. And I know all the Gomez fans out there, I'm here to say Selena Gomez, she slays. I thought she's really good in this movie. I wouldn't be mad if she got some Academy attention and Best Supporting Actress. And talking about Oscars, Emilia Perez is one of those films I think will grab so many nominations, because I just think it appeals to so many different types of people where they may not love it, but going back to what I said before, they're going to appreciate it, they're going to respect it because it's doing so many things. That includes picture, director, lead actress, 2 supporting actresses, cinematography, editing, sound, score, a song, maybe 2, and then of course, international feature. So as you saw there, that's a lot of nominations. That's probably gonna be the nomination leader this year. And I think that's really cool when a super divisive film can lead nominations because it can show how wide the opinions may be. There may be people who despise it. There may be people who love it. They may be the minority, they may be the majority, but people respect the hell out of it. Was too busy talking to your boy and more inside. We missed the Anora red carpet, but they have front row seats. They're gonna see Mikey Madsen up close. Good morning, it's the next day. My phone died right after that video of the Anora red carpet. I was on like 30% and my phone just went poof, gone. So it made my journey getting back to the train station a little bit difficult, but I made it back. And that's essentially all I did at the London Film Festival. I got to see the city, I got to see 2 movies, I got to meet some cool people. It was a fun time overall. So if you enjoyed what you watched, consider dropping a subscription. A like, it helps our channel and keeps you up to date with all the upcoming Oscar news for this season. But until next time, my name's Dill, and this has been Fancy Filmball.